You're a different cookie. Good.
Hello and welcome. This is Puneet Surana and you are listening to the Galata podcast. Galata is a word from the Indian language Kannada that means the noise caused by a ruckus. This podcast is about starting up while we are still in college, testing ideas, creating a team, building something worthwhile, and adding value to other people's lives. Join us as we discuss the thrill of earning your first buck, tackling uncertainties, overcoming obstacles, and delighting others. Most of all, the Galata podcast is about seeing, understanding, and implementing so you can deliver on your audacious promise. In this interaction, I open up about my formative years, building a game at the age of 13, smoking BDs to chain smoking books, experiments with myself, what drives me, and much more. I open up like I haven't opened up ever before, and that is why this episode has taken so long, because it shows you a side of Puneet that is vulnerable, raw, and personal. This is a one-off occasion where I open up to my guest, Deep Bajaj, who is a serial entrepreneur, founder of Sirona Hygiene and Peabody. We open up at times to strangers than those whom we have known for years. The tables are turned, and without realizing, he ends up interviewing me in the middle of me interviewing him. Now, if you haven't heard his episode, you must check out episode 25 first. His journey is worth listening to. I hope you'll find it of value. Now, back to the episode. When I lost mom, I lost a huge support system because dad would never be involved in the family. He had extended family to take care of. He had huge businesses to look after. And so Harshita and I had a separate space for ourselves. Far from, Harshita is my elder sister, far from the family, because there are a lot of fights that are happening, a lot of properties and stuff.
Yeah.
So we moved to a house only for studying and sleeping. That's it. We'd have food there, we'd do everything there, but studying and sleeping was here. So early on, I had this hunger, like, kuch karna hai abhi. Because I'd seen a lot of rough things. I'd seen people turn over. And I'm like 10, 11, 12, tell me things that you don't want a boy to listen to. And that's when I think I started my first company. Yeah, that's when I started my first company. In 8th, out of sheer distraction, to distract myself from everything, I would go to class and I would sleep through the day. And in the night, I would start building this gaming company. The whole night I would work.
Wow.
There were nights where I'd make $100. And this is an 8-year-old kid. 8th grade kid. And I would peddle some of the best games in the world to the local cybers. So I had like a cyber mafia going on. If you wanted your game in all these cybers in this circle area, you got to come to me. And if a game comes in without my permission, it goes out. And so I had that kind of control in the cyber. And I went into a lot of wrong shit at that time. Because when I would stay up, I would not only be open to all these new business ventures online, I'd always be open to other stupid things happening online. And porn is the least of it. There were a lot of other things that were happening back then. India, Pakistan, cyber wars and all of that.
Oh, that's new. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got in a lot of shit. Failed my 8th standard. And the gaming company, and the game that I built, that went away in one night. Because it became a hit, and then dad broke my laptop, and that was the end of it. And I could not raise 14 lakh rupees back then from Zapak, which was a big thing back then. They did not respond to an email of a 14-year-old boy, writing them every day. But after that, I met one or two teachers who got me in the line. They're like, dude, you have talent, you're potentially good, you're burning it on the wrong things. And one of them looked exactly like mom. And so I stuck along with her through and through. And so she made sure wherever there has to be a correction, she'll just get in, like, dude, back, focus on this, focus on that. And then that's when I started working on myself, improved my confidence, improved my health, improved my perspectives, got exposure. And one after that, one mentor kept on coming in, another mentor kept on coming in. I started reading a lot. And because I was in a lot of deep shit, I have access to most of the books online for free. So I read books, and I chain smoked books. To just give you an instance, weekly 2 books
Wow.
from my BBA till now, and podcast wasn't a thing. So I would take 30 minutes to reach from my home to college and back. So that 30 minutes was an audiobook.
Wow.
And I got this regime in place. Like, Seekhna, because I knew college had nothing to teach me. Though it was a top college in the country, it still is. Kuch nahi sikhata hai. And I could not stay in class also. So I would almost have like 3 or 4 books a week and inside of me. I would repeat the cassettes, the tapes, the audiobooks, the books. I would sit in the library and study.
What's the motivation? I mean, why do it? Is it just discipline? I mean, it could be a robotic life as well, right?
Yeah.
Do you attract?
It wasn't robotic, dude.
I'm just asking. Yeah.
For somebody like me to understand, I had no idea how real estate would work. And I learned it up. I had no idea how. So I read books on self-development. I read fiction books. I read non-fiction books. I read books on topics that had no link. I read 500 books on sexual wellness. I read eroticas. I read anything I could find my hands on. It was a good distraction, but it gave me a new world to experience every time.
But the main motivation was to just be. I mean, what thoughts were troubling? I think that's a most pressing question.
I think one thing I was very sure of was I don't want to waste my time. And I don't know from where I picked it up, but I was very clear, I'm not going to waste my time. Not even a second. So when there was still attendance used to be taken in class, we had this stupid attendance thing. 5 minutes would be going in there. And I knew I had to do only one thing, was raise my hand and say present. So 5 minutes, why waste? And those are 8 classes, so 8 into 5, 40 minutes. Why waste it? So that attendance would start. I would start reading a book. And Puneet would be calling like, here, done. And I would complete a book just by using those 5 minutes 8 times a day in 6 days.
So this is incredible. From flunking your 8th to IIM Bangalore.
I didn't study in IIM Bangalore.
Okay.
I did in PS University. I flunked in my 8th.
Sure.
And I topped my 10th standard. Which most people don't believe how I did it, but I did it. But after that, I've never opened a textbook. All my answer sheets have been from the books I've studied, from the people I've met. Like today also, live case studies on paper.
Wow. No, but I meant like, you did 8th from there to then Christ to whatever you're doing, and you're in all the circles, you're in every event that is an interesting event to attend. So why do you attend events then? I mean, is it because you like reading books? That's one. Because that is where you are most comfortable with your own self. Why meet people? Why the podcast? Why all of this?
This is an excuse to meet people like you.
Really? Why? I'm saying.
Because I realized how I learn. I don't learn by textbooks. I don't learn by looking at PPTs. I learn by having conversations. And I don't connect with people of my age at all. I connect with people who are much elder to me. Either in maturity or in age and maturity. You're much more elder to me in terms of maturity.
Yeah, age as well. So let's just say that. Yeah, I mean, a couple of decades.
You've pulled my average age of people I interact with way low. So I'm always connected with them. And I learn from conversations. And if I learn one, and I have this thing, I've learned it from Tony Robbins. If I can get one thing from this conversation.
Oh yes, your day is made.
Paisa vasool hai yaar.
Sahi baat hai. No, you're right. And that's how it should be.
And I hold on to it. Whatever that one thing I get, I hold on to it. That goal setting, I still hold on to it. So in 6 years, we have advanced like crazy. And I hold on to it. Something I learned from you and I hold on to it.
That's how it is, yeah. That's what life is all about. Very, very good. Interesting stuff. And now 6-packs also. So you should also talk about the 6-packs that you have.
I thought of building 6-packs and then I dropped the idea. Last year's goal was 6-packs. I dropped the idea. I want to do something better. Splits.
What is splits now?
You know that?
Oh yeah, splits. Yeah.
That's more harder than a 6-pack for me. So I want to do splits. That's one thing I want to do. And I want to swim proper laps. One proper consistent lap with peace. Because I'm scared of water.
Crazy, man. Crazy. You're already doing so much. You don't need to do splits. I mean, if you enjoy it, do it. It shouldn't be a target.
It's something that I'm obsessed with. I want to get that split. I'm jealous of all people who can do splits.
Wow. I don't even know if it's a thing, but good.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing at all. It will break something that I've been thinking that I can't do. Like that.
But how are things back home? I mean, how would you say your equation is back home now? I mean,
Gateway?
uh,
Gateway is good.
because you're saying that, I mean, your dad would want you to, he would, and I think he might, I don't know if he is, but if I were your dad, I'd be really trying to control a lot of things more because I know that there was no mom, so I want my son to fall in line, do everything right. And you are trying to take a very different path. It's a very unconventional path. People would expect you to take up jobs or continue doing things which have done well for you. And you're saying you will not do that because you did a successful startup, the t-shirt business as well. And you shut it down when it was making money.
Yeah.
So,
that's why we connect so well,
Yeah, I've done it all the time. I'm just trying to say how, because for me, there's nobody to answer back or to. I'm not answerable to anybody, unfortunately or fortunately. Nobody asks me anything. My parents, if I tell them today that I'm shutting down whatever I'm doing, they won't bat an eyelid. But in your case, I want to know if it was like that, and if not, then how did you fight that?
Yeah. So there are two things to this. One was that created an environment. So I told you, we have a house just for studying and sleeping. So you create an environment wherein we had the freedom to do anything we want to do.
But it's also controlling, right? I mean,
not at all.
Okay.
This was free.
Okay.
So there's a lot of controlling in the main house, but this house wasn't. It was like who had it? Edison had his own Menlo Park. This was our Menlo Park, and I made it into an experimental thing. I still do a lot of crazy experiments on myself, and like waking up at 4 a.m. and writing a book. I would be the guy who would sleep at 4 a.m. for the most of my life. Waking up at 4 a.m. is mad experiment. Another experiment would be dry fasting. So I don't have water or food from 6:30 p.m. to 7:50 a.m. Don't look at me like that. So that's an experiment, and I've seen the benefits of it. Dude, let's leave.
No, go on. Yeah.
So I do a lot of experiments.
Why? Again, I'm trying to understand what drives you, right, to do all these things, or is it? There are two parts to this. I mean, one could be that you're just in pure denial and you're just running from one thing to another. And second is you've got it all chalked out. And I would like to believe that you've got it all figured out. And because so many things, and these are such extreme things, wanting to do things which are, you want to, like a career which is away from the ordinary. You're living a personal life which is again away from the ordinary. What is that extraordinary thing that you're trying to achieve? Which is, because you're almost at the zenith stage, my friend. You're in the moksha state.
Oh, moksha's too far away, dude.
Perfect shape. You're a good-looking kid. You've done your startups. You know that what you want to do in life. At all of 22, 23. How and what? Who are your mentors? You should.
A few of them have been in the show.
They are the ones people should hear their stories, man.
Yeah, definitely. I think. I don't.
You should write a book on people who shaped you.
Yeah, definitely. More than writing a book on people who shape you, I think I need to write a book on how to shape oneself. Like how to design.
But is there a formula? Can you say there's a formula? Or is there a formula that one formula fits all? Or with a little bit of tweaking, but it can work on most?
I have a simple. Now I've developed it. Earlier I would do it unknowingly. I have a simple resistance test. It's to see when I have multiple choices, where am I resisting the most? I had multiple choices. For example, I could go party every weekend, every night, because of the social circles I have. Or I could sleep in at 11, 12, watch Netflix and all of that, which most of my generation do. Or I could sleep at 10 p.m. And I realized I can rock this. I can be the party of any party. But sleeping at 10 p.m., that means balls. And so I'm like, that's a lot of resistance. Let's go there.
Why?
Why? Because resistance is fun. I love resistance. You have to experience this in sales. I've experienced this in life and sales a little. When I'm going through resistance, I see growth. I see a part of me that I never knew existed. I never knew I could go back, sleep at 10 and wake up refreshed, energetic. It's very easy for me to go party and dance the night away. Resistance.
Without alcohol.
Without alcohol, dude. I can dance with this AC sound.
I would love to see that. And I will put it on YouTube, guys. If this is recorded, I'll do that for you guys.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to listen to this song again, recall whatever I've learned.
Yeah. But you can dance to the sound of anything.
Yeah.
Can you dance by yourself?
Yeah, all the time. I dance by myself. Very rare. Even if I'm in a group and everybody's looking at me and following my steps, I'm still by myself. I'm in my zone.
Wow.
And people.
How do you go in that zone is what everybody should hear and want to know.
How to build that zone?
How to build that zone?
I think I do a few things.
Because what you're talking is most of the people who are on acute, like strong drugs, those are sort of people who talk this that I'm in my zone. You don't take alcohol. You're a vegetarian. You follow all the good things in life. You're for every, because I'm a Punjabi boy, you're a Punjabi mom's dream come true son.
I'm the guy your mom warned you about. Not the dream come true. I think I realized this very early. So where I stay, it's a very happening area, my home.
Uh-huh.
So there's a bar right next to my house.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very famous non-veg shop right nearby. Mm-hmm. And there's a chicken store right in the front where you can buy chicken meat. They have fresh chicken.
Sure.
They cut it and they give it to you. And very early, this is before even religion was exposed to me, I would see a lot of people sleeping on the footpaths, drunk, and just
passed out.
And I would see how people would wake them up. They would take water and just splash at him, they would kick them, they would do all of that. And that was what I grew up around. Though I come from a rich family, I live in a very expensive part of Bangalore. But that's what I watched and I was like, वो नहीं करना मुझे.
कैसे अकल आती है यार, मतलब बकवास इस एज में are you talking is
part of it is religion. After that, religion really solidified it.
When did you find your religion?
I didn't find my religion. It was Jainism that was already there.
Okay.
And very early on, I remember this monk held my hand and was like, you have to give me 7 promises. This was after mom passed away. I started smoking when I was 4th standard, 9, 10, 11 years. Everybody in my house used to smoke. And I started smoking. I would smoke secretly.
Wow.
Yeah. And I had a thing there. I would not smoke the normal cigarette. I would smoke the BD. It was cheaper. It was more healthy according to me. Leaf hai, yeah. And that's when I realized a monk, he held me and like, dude, you have to do the 7 principles no matter what. You have to stick by it. I was like, okay, give it to me, I'll take it up. And smoking wasn't there in it. Drinking was there in it. Non-veg was there in it. Having an affair was there in it. Robbing is there in it.
Having an affair.
Sorry?
How sadist of a monk to have expected you to not have an affair.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, so...
Maybe the monk liked you.
No, he explained to me the reasons behind it at a very early age. He gave me examples that I could relate with, and I immediately committed to it. And I forgot about it, because at that age I wasn't exposed to this.
Obviously.
Come time to be at Christ, and even I did my PU at Jain, 12 and 11. Those were the sloppiest of colleges to be in. You would get slipped no matter what.
Yeah, obviously.
And that is when religion just helped me. Everybody would be partying around me, drinking their way. They would be forced to drink and all of that.
And you didn't.
And I didn't. And I was okay with it. And...
that's an incredible part. Yeah, hats off to you. I'm a fan. No, seriously, it's such a big feat to do because, most of the kids would be in a very vulnerable state given because money can't take away hardships, right? Money can it's just a fancier car, it's a fancier house. But what you're dealing with is here in your mind. So most of the people would take to these sort of distractions. I think a great thing that you've done is you've taken to the right distractions, which are books, which are people, which is working on your own self. Incredible. Yeah, that in itself is a incredible story of inspiration. Well done, my friend. For a 23-year-old, you're already back.
Saying here is a tough thing. It's all his. He's been very supportive, to be honest.
How, man? How can you talk like that at 23, man? How?
Okay, this is something I learned. It's called deferring success.
Deferring success?
Yeah, deferring success. It's a voodoo philosophy.
Okay. Let's hear it.
But it works. So what happens is, while I'm explaining this to somebody at last, this is Russian philosophy. Wherein it says that, let's say when you start puberty, right? You're trying to create a tornado of things around you with your energy. You're investing your energy, your efforts, your sanity, your resources, creating a tornado. And you're the center of it. Of course, a lot of hardships and all of that. And you're still spending your energy to get this tornado right. And the way in which the world works is that this tornado, to make it even more bigger and faster, you have to defer success to somebody else. I realized it early on because when I would take in the success on my own, that would fall. Or everything I would do would tumble. I would see a dip. And that's when I read this and I understood this is right. I'm trying to create a tornado around me by the culture I want to create, by the things I want to create. And if I take compliments with me and I ignore the negatives and all of that, the tornado won't be energized. It will suck me away. And that's when I started deferring it to him. Uska. So now what happens is, a sale doesn't work. Uska. So I don't take the emotional beating of it. Take it next. Somebody compliments me. Uska. I don't take the compliment.
You are 23. By the time you're 35, I think you would announce the world. And
I actually wanted to long back, but I didn't. My family didn't allow me.
I think you just headed there, dude. You're already there.
What about renouncing?
I don't know what you'll do. You're a different cookie. Good. I believe this.
It's a powerful thing.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Being comfortable, like I said, in your space, knowing that there are things which are right and there are things which are not right. And बस जिंदगी का यही सच है और एंड में भी यही रहेगा. किसी की भी लाइफ में कुछ भी परफेक्ट नहीं है यार. कोई भी ऐसा नहीं है जो यहाँ बोल सकता है कि I'm absolutely at peace. Because human nature ऐसा है, हमारी प्रवृत्ति ऐसी है कि we seek more and more and more in whatever we are doing. Could be money, could be spirituality, could be physical, sexual, whatever you're fond of, you want to seek more. और उसी से progress भी उसी से है. मतलब अगर ये आदत खत्म हो जाए that we want it. If the seeking stops, the progress will stop. So it's good enough. But it's just that in many people it consumes the better part of you because you start comparing yourself to others. And that's where the downfall happens. Otherwise, there's no wrong in wanting more. Wanting more is not a problem. Wanting more because he has more is a problem. So good, that you're doing whatever you're doing.
See, that's how I get to
Good stuff. So what does your father have to say about your choice of career now? Do you discuss it with him? Does he have an opinion on it?
Yeah, he does. He doesn't share his opinion most of the time. He shares it with everybody else. Now I get to hear it.